Buying a car in Carvana was so easy. I was able to finance it through them.
Whoa, wait, you mean finance?
Yeah, finance. Got pre-qualified for a Carvana auto loan, entered my terms, and shot from thousands of great car options all within my budget.
That's cool that financing through Carvana was so easy.
Financed. Done. And I get to pick up my car from their Carvana vending machine tomorrow.
Financed.
Right, that's what I said.
You can spend time trying to pronounce financing, or you can actually finance and buy your car today on
Carvana.
Financing subject to credit approval. Additional terms and conditions may apply.
At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
This is Optimal Health Daily. Iron Discipline. These 7 steps can help you accomplish your goals. Part 1 by Eric Teplitz of ericteplitz.com. And I'm Dr. Neil, your very own personal narrator. Happy Monday and welcome to another edition of Optimal Health Daily, where I read some of the best blogs covering health and fitness, just like an audiobook, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. Now, we have a bunch of shows narrating blogs. Just search for Optimal Living Daily to find all of them. Now, today's post is a bit longer than what I typically narrate, so whenever that happens, I'll read the first half today and then finish it up for you tomorrow. So, with that, let's get right to the first half as we optimize your life. Iron Discipline. These 7 steps can help you accomplish your goals. Part 1 by Eric Teplitz of ericteplitz.com. Have you ever set a goal for yourself, taken some action in that direction, and then lost your resolve before achieving it? Show of hands? Great. That means there are no AIs here, just people. This article, then, is for you. Whatever your unrealized goal might have been, maybe losing 30 pounds, writing a book, or cleaning your house, I'm willing to bet that self-discipline was a necessary component of achieving it. I'd like to share a 7-step process for how you can build self-discipline, derived from my own experience training for and completing my first ever marathon. Note that these steps can be directly applied to many other goals, not just finishing a 26.2-mile foot race. That said, I will use the example of my marathon journey to elucidate each step. Here we go. Step 1. Decide that something is worth doing. This step is deceptively simple. For the first 30 years of my life, the thought of running a marathon held less than 0 appeal to me. Running for 26.2 consecutive miles? That sounds like torture. Why would anyone voluntarily do such a thing? But a little over a year later, sure enough, I signed up for the Los Angeles Marathon. What changed? In the interim, I had purchased a mountain bike and really enjoyed riding it from my apartment to the beach, which then led to doing some longer rides. That got me curious about doing a short course triathlon, which is a half-mile swim plus an 18-mile bike ride and a 4-mile run, which I trained for and managed to complete, despite my seriously subpar swimming skills. This was a significant personal achievement, having never before done a race of any kind. It was such a positive and life-affirming experience that soon after, I started to wonder what else I might be capable of. Browsing one day at a bookstore, I picked up a copy of The Non-Runner's Marathon Trainer and read the introduction. I was intrigued and inspired. I purchased the book and went right home and registered for the Los Angeles race. The point here is that in my case, it took 31 years before I decided that running a marathon was something I felt was worth doing. How do you know if something is worth doing for you? I would argue that you need to want to do it or want the reward or experience it will bring you so much that you are willing to commit to it. You have to be willing to embrace everything about it that might and likely will be uncomfortable. So it can't be an arbitrary goal or, in my opinion, one that someone else sets for you. It has to mean something to you deep down. This will be necessary for you to be able to see through the remaining steps. Step 2. come up with a realistic schedule. You will need to schedule the time to regularly incorporate the work required to reach your goal. You cannot just rely on your excitement or motivation, because these will come and go. A schedule means you are to do the work on a given day, meaning you put in the time, the repetitions, and so on, not because you feel like it, but because you are honoring your commitment to yourself. In my case, coming up with a schedule was easy because it was already outlined in a single table on page 2 of the Non-Runner's Marathon Trainer. The authors prescribe a 16-week training program consisting of 4 runs per week, each one listed on the table by mileage. All I had to do was work backwards from the date of the race and follow the weekly schedule, including the chapter readings. The most important feature of whatever schedule you come up with for yourself is that it's realistic, based on your knowledge of yourself and the specifics of your current situation. For example, I knew that the only way I was going to ensure the completion of my weekday runs was by getting up super early and fitting them in before work. After a full day at the workplace, all bets were off as to what I might have energy and willpower left for. So, getting up early to run is exactly what I did. This sometimes meant saying no to activities that would keep me up late or otherwise interfere with my plan. Step 3. Push through the discomfort and do the thing. There's no getting around this. When the calendar or clock or phone or alarm says it's time, it is time. If what you are committing to is something you're not used to doing, keep in mind that it will take some time to get used to it and make it a routine. The good news is that getting over that hurdle of discomfort in the name of seeing through an important commitment you made to yourself is hugely empowering. This is the real muscle you are building. Step 4. Gradually increase the dosage. Start as small as you need to. You may feel that you can do anything for 1 minute, for example, and increase the dosage gradually from there. The book that I used to guide me through my marathon training, which was written specifically for beginners or non-runners, remember, suggests giving yourself an additional month or so prior to beginning the 16-week program to build up to running a distance of 3 miles, which is the distance of the first official training run in week 1. The weekly mileage of the runs in the training program itself then increases gradually. Step 5. Experience the benefits. Stick with anything long enough and you are likely to see tangible progress, like pages written, improved mood or physique, or a greater ease with something that was at first difficult, not to mention feelings of accomplishment. Once I surpassed runs of 6 miles in length in my training program, each week's long run became the longest distance I had ever run in my life. Along with self-discipline, you are building self-confidence. Knowing that you can push through discomfort for some higher cause is a priceless gift that only you can give to yourself. There is great satisfaction to be found in working toward a goal you have deemed meaningful or important. In fact, don't tell anyone, but that's where the real juice is, often more than in the accomplishment of the goal itself. You are probably learning another of life's great secrets at this point. Hear that on tomorrow's episode. You just listened to part 1 of the post titled, Iron Discipline. These 7 steps can help you accomplish your goals by Eric Teplitz of ericteplitz.com. And I'll be right back with my commentary.
Oikos presents 15 Seconds of Strength.
Here we go. Steve's got a trunk full of groceries and no one to help him.
Oh, that's tough, Jim. Looks like a 5-trip load at least.
He grabs the first bag, the second. Bob, it looks like he's trying to do it all in one trip. He shimmies the door open, steps over the dog, and he stumbles.
Oh, right into the kitchen without missing a beat. Jim, now that's a man who eats his protein-packed Oikos.
With 15 grams of complete protein in each cup, Oikos Triple Zero can help build strength for every day. Oikos, stronger makes everything better.
You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Indeed Sponsored Jobs helps you stand out and hire fast. Your post jumps to the top for relevant candidates, reaching the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed get 45% more applications than non-sponsored ones. And one thing I love about Indeed is how it speeds up hiring. When I've hired in the past, the process was overwhelming. I wish I'd used Indeed. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/health. Just go to Indeed.com/health right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/health. Terms and conditions apply. Hiring? Indeed is all you need. Dr. Neil here for my commentary. Something that today's author Eric said is so important, I have to repeat it. When it comes to trying to stay consistent with a new habit, one of the most helpful suggestions is to not rely on motivation, because motivation comes and goes. There will be some days when you're feeling extra motivated and other days when you feel like you can't be bothered with it. Instead, we have to make time for it, and putting it on your schedule is one way to do that. In fact, this is one of the things I do myself. I block off time in my schedule where nothing else can get booked so that I make sure to get in a workout. To make sure I'm eating nutritiously throughout the week, on Sundays I make sure to take the time to plan out my dinners for the rest of the week, to make sure that I'm eating nutritious foods for dinner at the very least. So don't underestimate the power of planning and scheduling these things in. After all, if we fail to plan, we plan to fail. All right, that'll do it for today. Thank you so much for listening every day. Thank you for sharing this show with someone. And of course, I'll be back here tomorrow to finish up this post, so I'll see you there where your optimal life awaits.